one of the coolest, yet also simplest mods you can do to your F-Series BMW. As you've probably seen, many of these cars driving down the road with different coloured angel eyes on the headlights. As you can see on this side, we have a lovely orange. This side, we have a lovely yellow. This orange is one that I've not actually seen before, and it's really, really nice. It's quite a daunting task to do, so we thought we'd do a little bit of a semi-instructional video showing you how to do it. It is something that you can do at home, and you won't need to jack the car up. So, we'll get into it. First thing you need to do is remove your bumper. Get your car in the air, nice and safe. Make sure you use axle stands, for the love of God. You do need to remove the bumper. The headlights have these tabs on them, which is probably an anti-theft thing, to be fair. It just stops you being able to remove the headlight without taking the bumper off. As you can see, the bumper is secured all along this top brace here with these. These are T30s with a little captive nut on the back of here. So you need to remove all of these. So all the ones that you can see on the top of here. So you remove all of them, and you can see them here. Once they're removed, we have 2 bolts here and a couple of trim clips here, as well as the bottom. You can see in the wheel arch lining where the trim screws go. So we just essentially, I've removed pretty much all of them and let the wheel arch liner flap a little bit. It just gives more access to it. And then up here, you'll see these 2 holes. So that's where the long screws go, which go through into the bumper itself. So we remove them, and then from the underside, we remove the trim screws all underneath. We've already got the under tray off this anyway because we're doing a service and I might have dropped an 8mm onto the under tray, so that's great. So remove all them, and then slowly and very gently pull the bumper off. Once you've got the bumper off, it's time to have a look at the headlights. These particularly are the BMW LED headlights. They do differ ever so slightly, but the mounting points are essentially in the same place. So you've got one here, T27. You've got one 10mm just down here. It's down there. It's a 10mm down there, which you actually access from the underside. You can see the back side of it just there. So you take that one off. Then you've got one here, which is again a T27. And then another T27 just poking down here. So we'll have a look at taking that off now. For removing the 10mm, we want to just push down these 2 tabs with your fingers. They are a bit of a pain. Push one and then the other. Pull the little panel out. And then the 10mm is just in here. You can see the back end of it here. So get your ratchet and loosen that 10mm there. Okay, now we just disconnect the plug. Like that. So you see the little tabs that you have to press down on. So there's one of them on each side. Press them down and just wiggle, very gently, just wiggle it out. And then, very carefully, especially with these LED modules, and then we can go over to the workbench and we can start disassembling. Ooh, lovely. Place it down so you can access these 3. So this, and this. These aluminium pieces on top are just the heat sinks, and inside there is where the DRL modules are, so we'll strip them down now. These are a T20, so just self-tapping screws. So you want to put your screws somewhere safe. Definitely recommend not using power tools for this bit. This module here. Yeah. Gently remove them. They shouldn't be too tight. They should just come out nicely. And there's the connector. What I recommend is just doing one of these at a time, and then you can't mix the boards up. So a light press and just a wiggle and they come out. And that is the actual diode there that you can see. And this whole board gets replaced. Okay, so to disassemble the boards, each one of them has 2 T10s on. Very carefully remove the 2 screws. And this piece of plastic comes off. That's what focuses the diode there. We have our 3 new diodes up here. So you obviously want to choose the one that matches. You actually can't get them wrong, to be fair, because the shape of the boards are different. So this one takes this one diode, single diode board, and you've got this cut out here, which makes it a little bit more easy to see. Remove the old one, and on the new one, any of you PC guys will know what this is. It's a little bit of thermal paste. These can get quite warm, and this is just one big heat sink. So I put in a couple of blobs of thermal paste on the back of it. Some kits come with it, depending on the quality of the kit, some kits do come with some. Lightly press down. You don't need loads of thermal paste, don't go mad on it. If you ever put a CPU on a motherboard, you'll know. And then replace the beam focuser and the screws. And again with this, don't go mental. So just nip them up a little bit and then go to the second screw, because we want nice even pressure on the board across the heatsink. Don't want to go silly tight and crack the board. And you've got to repeat that for each one of these. So if you look at these diodes here, it's all the same process. One connector, one beam focuser and one board. Same process for all of them. Repeat that process, and then once you're done, reinstall your board nice and gently. Put the connector back in. And then you'll notice this beam focuser touches this piece of plastic here. And that's where the LED turns into the angel eye. So it acts like a fibre optic almost, but it's plastic. And it just sits in there, which you shouldn't have to force it in, it shouldn't be too difficult. That's us done with the headlights, so we'll head over to the car and reinstall them. Okay, so we're just going to gently place the headlight into the car. Once it's located, throw this top one in first. Yeah? Yeah? What did you say? Yeah? Are you recording? Oh, dick. Put the first one in, just put it in lightly. There's no point tightening it all up until you can get all the bolts in, they line up really well. So just put that in lightly, and that's just going to stop it falling out. Reconnect the connector. Oh yeah. Click. Now we've got the two long bolts. Okay, same place. You've got to push them through because they've got this spacer here. Second one's a bit more fiddly. It's easy to cut yourself on this one as well. There we go, push that in. And then the third one, which goes here. Can you see it from there? All right. Tighten up this one here. Okay. So that one's tightened up, and then we use these to assist with the alignment. One of these ratcheting wrenches are an absolute godsend if you're doing this sort of work. Okay. Not mega tight. And as you can see, it doesn't align perfectly well. So we'll go around and loosen everything off. Okay, so that's that nipped. And it should align, you should have an even gap between the wing and the headlight here. And now we can tighten the rest of them up. So that one, and that should be the headlight secure. Now this is the time you want to test it. We put everything back together. Now before you put everything back together, switch the headlights on and just test that they work. Bam. Did it work? Thank God. Look how cool these look. Brilliant.